Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pairs of the Mind. I am the award-winning and very handsome award-winning host, Chriz, aka the Mole. Joining me is the runner-up in this category of Best in Pairs, Anastasia Lazerbeam.
Hi.
And happy to be nominated, James Phoenix.
Sure, why not? Hi.
Sounds about right.
I was just happy to have been nominated. You weren't nominated, it's just a list of 5. I'm still on the list. I get a participation badge. But no, we're here to review.
Although, to be honest, if I had to register, if you won that award, I think you stole it from Richter.
No,
Because we all know Richter's the best one.
He's been taking time off.
That's fair.
He's on sabbatical for killing his wife. But yeah, it's
Wow.
We're here for the review of Cult of Chucky, the 7th in the Child's Play series, being obviously Child's Play 1, 2, 3, Bride of Chucky, when they did, I think it was Seed of Chucky, and then Curse of Chucky.
And then this one, yep.
Which, this is pretty good. This one seems to go out for a balance in terms of theme. It continues straight after the post-credits scene of the 6th movie, which is cool. But it's basically, the reason I say it goes for a mixture, it's not flat-out comedy like Bride of Chucky or The Abomination that was Seed of Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not flat-out horror either like some of the older ones. It's more like a slasher / self-parodying slasher at the same time, and it works. It's fun, and what you get is something fun with horror elements, and it's cool. I like that. The reason I say it wasn't quite as comedy as the others, like Seed of Chucky went way the fuck too meta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was watching this movie and like Jennifer Tilly shows up and you're like, you look just like Jennifer Tilly, and I'm like, wait, what? And then I went back and read the summaries where it's like, wow, you really went that far into comedy, didn't you?
Did we lose Jim?
Hello?
No, he's still there.
Oh, he's gone all black and cut off for me.
Oh.
Did you hear what I said, Pew?
I heard you.
Is Mo not just selectively ignoring me?
No, I don't even. I can hear you now. I just don't see you or Pew.
That's weird. Okay.
I'm gonna try refreshing it, see what helps.
Okay. Did you at least hear what I said?
I think he did.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's why I had to look up and I'm like, wait, so so clearly there was a joke about her looking like Jennifer Tilly, but like, wait, was the joke that Jennifer Tilly played the human form of the girlfriend before she became the doll? Because I knew a little bit of like what happened here. And then I looked up like, oh wow, so literally the character who became the doll literally possessed actress Jennifer Tilly. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, but there's someone inside the girl doll anyway.
Well, yes, but that's because she did to the girl doll the same thing Chucky had been doing to all the other Chucky dolls, and then to Fiona, I keep calling her Fiona because it's her real name, to Nika, and that's just basically splitting his soul among multiple things. She just put a part of her soul in the doll.
Yeah.
Yep. And I heard part of what you said, but yeah, obviously I know like they put her into Jennifer Tilly's body because hey, she looks just like her, and I'm like, oh, it's funny. It's funny, but they went way too over the top. Like at one point in Seed, he's like flipping off famous people in the car.
Okay then.
I'm just like, really? Like I think it was Miley Cyrus or someone else. Like fuck you out the window. I'm like, really? There's no need for that. That one was just too over the top. Like if that one felt more like a scary movie, epic movie type film than one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, this one, like I said, it's a continuation of the last one where Chucky was torturing a family, which was awesome. And he left the disabled woman alive, and now she's in a mental institution. But at the same time, the post-credit scene of the last one was Chucky mails himself to Andy, and Andy turns around and goes, time to play, and just shoots him in the face. Mm-hmm. And then we cut to this one, and now Chucky's head is like mounted on a table that Andy constantly tortures.
Yeah. Although the indication I got was that Chucky didn't know he was being mailed to Andy, so I don't think he did it himself. I think somebody mailed him to Andy.
In what? In the last one?
I think just reading what it said, because it sounded like it sounded like somebody had mailed him to Andy, and especially because I think I've seen a clip of that post-credits scene, and I remember I think just when it came up, like, oh, that's a cool thing. They went back all the way to the original, and I remember it sounded like Chucky wasn't expecting Andy to be there when he came out of the box. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
If you watch the post-credit scene, Chucky mentions all throughout the film he had unfinished business with someone, which is Andy. He then gets mailed to Andy. He cuts himself out the box to kill him, and the only reason he's surprised is Andy's got a fucking gun to his face. He's like,
okay.
And he's like, time to play, and just shoots him. So it seemed more like the element of Andy just waiting for him, like, I know that's fucking Chucky.
Yeah.
Which, that was cool.
I did like in this one, he has these like massive gun cases.
Yep.
I like how he disguised the gun cases for hunting because he has all this shit mounted on the wall.
Yeah.
Yep. And I love the fact in this one, you had stuff like Andy mailed his own Chucky doll into the mental institution so that he could rip into it, pull out the gun, and kill it. He's like, "Wait, you sent me?" Which is funny.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, and yeah, the story unfolds and Chucky starts to kill people. There's also a really messed up psychiatrist in this.
Yeah, hypnotizes her and then makes her probably fucks her, and then
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Even Chucky made the point, like, I thought I was bad. This dude is deranged.
Yeah, I need to get tips on it and stuff. It's like, okay, that's funny.
I don't know whether to kill him or take notes.
I think my favorite part in this is literally they're arguing who gets to kill Andy, and the guy's like, "No, fuck you. Look at my hair," and he's like, "Oh shit, you're right. Go ahead."
That was great.
Yep. Like I said, my favorite kill was probably the woman that was strapped to the table.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
he throws the bottle up and it cracks this, and you're like, what? And they're just all cut and decapitates. And like, oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, like, okay, this goes to cut to death. I did not see decapitation coming until it happened.
Now I will mention, as a slight negative, the CGI is kind of shit. It was in the last one. CGI Chucky face looks off, so they don't have to keep doing the puppets. It saves time and money. But to be fair, it's a direct-to-DVD film. It doesn't have the big budgets to get this right. And for what it is, it's funny anyway, and it works. And I love Chucky with that woman when he's walking down the hall and he looks at her. She's like, "You can see me?" It's like, "Yes." And he even mentions to her, "I'm a fucking serial killer in the body of a doll talking to you right now.
I called you on the phone 3 days ago."
Yeah, and when she says something else to him, he's then just like, "I'm gonna come back for you," and just walks off. Like he's just pissed that she's not scared of him, and it's more just like, "Oh, okay, I've made a friend." And when he said, "I'm gonna come back for you," she goes, "Yeah, please visit," and you're like, "Really?" Which was funny.
Yeah,
it was.
It's also fucked up with the psychiatrist thought that this woman was obsessed with this doll, so goes and gets the one doll called Chucky.
or the small amount.
He says like 2% were called Chucky, so he paid for a Chucky doll. I'm like, really? Why would you do that?
Because you're a fucking dick.
But later on in the film, as I say, we found out he's not a good psychiatrist.
No, not even close.
No.
He's like some of the ones you get in Arkham.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Also, I would just want to point out the nurses really confused me. Because I get why doctors look the way they do, but none of the nurses should have looked like that. What is this? The nurse from fucking Animaniacs? I mean,
hello, nurse.
What is up with that? They should be in fucking scrubs and shit. I get it. They just want to make her look hot or whatever.
It's because it's a B movie.
Yeah.
Because these are like horror B movies, and hot women is a staple of it.
Yeah, it's just that I couldn't. It just kind of drove me crazy. I was like, why is she wearing that? I don't think a nurse is wearing that since the 50s or some shit.
Yeah, because the Dune nurse was wearing scrubs.
Yeah, it's because, like I said, because it's a B movie, they do stuff like because it's to get the extra views. Although to be fair, some of those uniforms are still in practices in some asylums and stuff.
Oh, really?
More like the old-timey one, so it's like more old-timey uniform, so they kept it traditional as part of its heritage. Like, we have one over here that uses nurses' uniforms that look very much like World War II-ish ones.
Interesting.
I saw that on
Cool.
TV the other week. Mainly because it's part of their heritage. So when you go there, it seems like a bigger deal of, oh, look, everything's so vintage. I know it's good because they're still keeping with the stuff for to work. I'm like, okay, that's fun.
Is that the excuse Simon uses when he goes out in his nurse outfit?
Yeah.
Ah,
But it's a case of, yeah, like I said, this film, I liked a lot of the stuff they did. Some of it was weird. Like, I was explaining it to Crispy earlier today after we saw Thor Ragnarok. And he was like, really? When I was like, oh, yeah, Chucky's now in the body of a woman. He's like, what? Yeah, and then he goes and kisses his female lover. And he's like, no, you're lying. And I'm like, no, that happened. And even my brother's like, no, that happened. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what? Which also is worth noting. I think this is the first time we've seen on screen successfully Chucky put himself into another person.
I think so.
He's tried it multiple times, but he always fails.
Yeah, and I did like the false flag with multiple Malcolm. Like you thought that Chucky was in him, but he wasn't.
Yeah. I also loved his death.
Yeah.
I heard Chucky in my head. Drill right through the back of his head.
That was great.
I mean, the one line at both of them just cackling evilly. I'm like, oh, okay, that's funny. It's also weird because this needs a sequel, obviously, because there's loads of Chuckies out there. He's gone off on his own. There has to be. Andy has possibly been framed for murder.
He's afraid for multiple murder. There's about at least 8 to 10 dead people in that asylum, and him locked in a cell with a gun right now.
To be fair, there's him locked in the cell with a gun, but that doesn't necessarily mean he did all the other murders.
That's true.
He's just done any that involved guns, or I don't think any did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Although at least you think, at the very least, it should help his story when they come to get him out, and they find what is clearly the body of a good guy doll that clearly had organs and intestines and shit smashed to death in his cell. That should at least legitimize his story that there are living dolls out there.
To be fair, in the previous films, whenever they've cut him up and stuff, there's been blood and stuff like that, and the police never believe him.
Yeah, okay.
They never believe it's an evil doll.
Oh, I love that video in the beginning where it just shows him trying to prove that Chucky's alive by giving the head and shooting him. And like, no, look at this shit. Like, look at me. Just fucking killing him right now. And like, he's still going. He's like, clearly you're just some kind of actor or something. So goodbye.
Yeah. It's like, I also liked the post-credit scene on this one. Which was cool. Andy's foster sister from Child's Play 2 returns. That's who that was, in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah, I figured that because from what I heard, they teased that they had a picture of her, I guess, in Curse somewhere to kind of tease that.
They had a picture in Curse, but it wasn't just of her. They also had his mom, and it's all his family from the previous film, so it looks like it's actually Andy's family, like something you would find in his house. And you're like, oh, that's cool. So it was also so you could tell it was definitely the correct Andy.
Right.
Because, yeah, last thing Chucky wants is to be like tied up and like Andy wrote on the bottom of his shoe. That'd be horrible. Then around 3 films later, he gives it to a girl and it's like, okay, my story's completely ended now. They should never do another one. And then they'll turn around and still milk the shit out of it anyway.
Yeah.
And complete fucking morons will still buy into it and go, oh, we should go see that. And like, really? Why? They're ruining a perfectly good ending. This one looks weird. Like I said, this looked weird. The post-credit scene was great.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go with the Justin Whalen joke there, but fair enough.
No, I went with Andy because it's Andy and it's dolls. It works better.
No, it does. You didn't get my reference. Fair enough. Justin Whalen's the guy that played Andy in Child's Play 3 because they jumped 8 years in a year.
Yeah, but I was going with Andy from Toy Story because it's more funny.
Fair enough.
That's what I was about. It's just funny of doing that writing on the foot. That'd be fucked up if Chucky's walking around with Andy written on his foot.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm Buzz Lightyear, tongue stabbed. I'd be like, wow, he's killed Tim Allen's career as much as Tim Allen tried to do.
Oh.
But yeah, like I said, I like the deaths in this are great. There's a lot of fake deaths too.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, once it gets started, it takes a few minutes, but once it gets started, you know what's coming. Like, there's a few fake outs and stuff and fake jump scares. And then it goes full slasher mode while being self-aware of how silly some of the stuff is.
Yeah.
Which I like that one. But what did you guys think?
I thought it was okay. I mean, I thought some points were kind of like weird and dumb, but like it was overall kind of like it had scary parts that were like not gonna say like legitimately scary, but they were like definitely this is where like the horror stuff is, and this is where the funny parts are, and it's all right.
Yeah, it was the type of horror you get in like the shit like Five Nights at Freddy's, where it's like something goes, bleh, and you're like, that's not scary.
Yeah.
But it works. Like I said, this one wasn't full horror. The last one was proper horror, more when it was Curse of Chucky. Like they were locked in a house, just a house of a serial killer, and because she's in a wheelchair, you had her crawling away for a lot of the films and stuff happening, which was cool. And you had like eyes roll down the stairs, which was gross in the last film. It was awesome.
Oof.
And what did you think, Jim?
This is the first Chucky movie I've seen since Child's Play 1, which I think I watched on TV once. But it was an enjoyable movie. Given that I've seen the first one, I kind of knew a little bit about what to expect. But there was still a lot of great kills in this. The decapitation was really good. I said I like the fake out with multiple Malcolm, and I like how they made you really want to see the Doctor die. They did a good job of making you hate him, so that was well done.
Yep.
And it was just enjoyable, suspenseful, all right, to see how it was going to play out. And I did not see the ending coming where they locked Andy in the cell and drove off. And like, because my understanding is 90% of the time, like you always know Chucky's going to come back, but he usually doesn't just blatantly get away at the end of these movies.
And
Which, but also I have to mention, and I know it was, and I know they played it up intentionally at the end of the movie after it happened. Fiona Dorff looks horrifyingly like her father.
Mm-hmm.
Like they specifically pulled her hair out to the sides and shit like this to make her look like Brad Dourif. It was creepy, but it worked.
Yep. Well, it's even funnier because you rarely actually saw him as an actor on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the first like 10 minutes of the first movie, and then I think there was like a flashback in one movie at some point.
It wasn't even the first 10 minutes. It was like 2 minutes inside the thing, so he could put himself into a doll and move the fuck on.
Mm.
But how would everyone rate this? I'd give it a thumb up. I recommend people, if you like Child's Play, go as a franchise, all of them, go watch this. It's fun. There's enough throwbacks to the older stuff that, you know what I mean, it makes you feel, oh, cool, they're throwing back to this. I like that and stuff. So you're like, okay. Unlike other horror films, which I don't want to name drop or pick fun of, but a lot of them after the second one stopped giving a shit about the overarching story, and it's like, fuck it, he's come back and now there's different people that he's killed again. Fuck it. But this one, at least they keep some traces of an ongoing story, which is fun.
Another thing I just wanted to mention is that this girl, Nika, right? She plays the serial killer in Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and she's the holistic assassin person. So it's really interesting to see her go from like sort of crazy loopy killer person into like this, because in that series she has a strong accent, and here she kind of talks different, acts different, and it was really interesting to see her have range. So yeah, I'd give this movie like a 7. It's all right. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of funny. It had some spooky stuff in it. So yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, for somebody who's not, for a guy who's not really into horror movies, I did enjoy this movie. It was a lot of fun, and I think definitely if you're a fan of the franchise, it's definitely worth checking out. One other thing I have to mention is I love the fact that Chucky figured out how to do this by going to like easyvoodoo.com or some shit to get the voodoo spell to split himself. That was just classic B movie. But overall, yeah, definitely. Like I said, if you're a Child's Play fan, definitely go check it out. If you're a Child's Play fan, it's probably going to rank about a 90. If you're not, it's still an 80 to 85. It's still enjoyable. If you like a horror slasher film with a touch of comedy, it's definitely worth checking out. Just
Boring.
suspend your disbelief a little bit and go check it out.
Yep, and I was your host for this one, Chriz, aka Mole. Join us tomorrow night when we also, it's keeping with the theme of Halloween, we'll basically review another horror movie. Baywatch.
No.
Peace.